Come on in, yes. We're about to go live with the pre-show live stream, and we're going to talk about that monolith. The whole world's talking about that monolith that we talked about last night. If you didn't catch it, the video is over on KBS 1, the bigger channel. But I'll be with you, all of the KBS people, in just a moment. There we go. We're back. We're live. Yes, indeed. And we're going to talk about that mysterious monolith that has just appeared over in the Utah wilderness. Can't think of a better woo-type topic for KBS to get into. But we roll differently here. We don't do anything until I pay homage to the chat room. Yes, indeed. We've got Felicia. We've got Jules. We have got Saint Marionette. Polly, Bearded, Leslie, like the usual suspects in here, right? Savages, as Charlie Robinson calls you. So we have got Armand as well. Armand is ready for destroying his laptop. It's giving you grief, isn't it, Armand? Says, I'm doing a winter solstice ritual. The Long Man of Willington. Whoop. I don't know about whoop. That sounds like pure unadulterated woo, my friend. Very good stuff. We've got Bearded, think I've done that one. First Paranormal, ZX. He's been working like a little Trojan, so he has, yes. What else we got in here? Let me see. Ben, good to see you. JS, Lake. Somebody new. Look at the shadows of the soldiers from left to right on the monoliths. Something is wrong. Well, talking of monoliths, that's what we're here to talk about today, right? And myself and Ben Emlyn-Jones, we covered this yesterday over on the main Kev Baker show on tfrlive.com. Hope you were there for that. If not, I've got you covered, because I've uploaded that clip, that segment from the show where we talked about the monolith, and Ben gave his thoughts of it over on the other KBS channel. I don't know, it's the bigger KBS channel, but this is where we do our best work, in my opinion. I come on here, we chill out, we do the live streams, we've got our members. Did I mention members? That big join button down below, we've got 51 members. We need to keep on growing. So if you want to become a member, you'll get into our very VIP suite. You'll get just a little kind of there you go, just a little taste of it there. Yep, that's the VIP suite. You got a little taste. If you want more of that, then you can come on over. But if I just bring up the bigger channel here, probably totally unsearchable on YouTube. No, I'm actually, well, no, it's there, yes. Hang on now. Bring this up. Where is the website? There we go. So if we come over here, you will see the monolith is up. We've got Big Ben in there.
They're just state workers trying to do a job, but they definitely
It's
found
Big Ben.
something that appears to be out of this.
There he is.
Wouldn't have spotted it unless they flew directly over it.
Flew directly over what, I hear you all asking? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. This mysterious monolith that has turned up in the Utah desert. Now look at this here. We're going to take a look at a couple of the photographs. We're going to take a look at some of the stories that have come out today surrounding this uber mystery. I mean, this is like something from the start of a J.J. Abrams movie, is it not? You know, a bunch of monkeys come along or something and fit. Oh no, they've done that one already before in a movie, haven't we? And that's 2001 Space Odyssey. We'll be taking a little look at that today. I don't know, only in 2020, right, do you get monoliths appearing so close to one of my favourite locations in the world. For all the woo reasons, Skinwalker Ranch. We've got Felicia in the chat room. I know she's in Utah or near to this location. So it'll be good to see what she's got to say in the chat as we go on as well, because I'll be asking you what you think. What you think it all means. We'll keep it light, we'll keep it fun. I'll tell you what, this is some pretty cool woo. Look at that. Looks like it's been placed there. Was it an artist? Did it come from space? All these crazy questions, right? It's okay to actually think about them, because look at that. That there is pretty significant in my opinion. Wouldn't you agree? I think so. Make me a little smaller here. There we go. I would make me like this small. Maybe I should go that small, since I'm like the smallest man on YouTube. There we go. I look like that Paul Catrella, and that's just another story altogether. Anyway, anywho, let's get into this, shall we? So let's bring up the first story, the first website that was covering this, and I got a shock, because usually this website is where I go for my techie type stuff. And this time, the main headline over on Futurism was dealing with the mysterious metal monolith. So listen, maybe before we even get going on the websites, right? Maybe it would be a good idea just to get a gauge on what the audience is saying about this, because this is one of the most interesting mysteries I've come across in a long time. So let me pull up the chat room. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where the chat's at. Here we go. Right then, let's go down. Arman's wondering if it's on ley lines. Very interesting thought, brother. Very interesting indeed. Let me pull up a picture of the bad boy. There it is there, looking pretty cool. Anyway, I'll see myself out. There we go, Felicia. Oh, I hope it isn't Armand. That would be... You don't want square edges for one of those, right, ladies? Definitely not. Stone circles are a good one, says ZX. Armand says, I wonder how many more they are, and will they start appearing all over the world? Oh my word. Wouldn't that be like super woo? Now, it's okay to go super woo here, because when we talk about Project Bluebeam, and again, that's highly debatable whether it was ever a real document. It was an alleged secret document that got leaked onto the internet. So it is what it is. But one of the main first phases of that is archaeological discoveries, or something that causes the world to go, whoa. And it makes us question our history, what we know about where we come from, and where we're going. Could it be the start of something like that? If it's going to happen, it would be in 2020, right? It would. Anyone else freak out from the tunnel voices in 2001 A Space Odyssey? Mystical terror. Tremendum. Oh, I like that. Tremendum. Yes. Right, now hang on. Felicia saying, I heard that there was someone who found another one in Utah, but they wouldn't disclose the location or pics, so I don't know how legitimate it is. Oh. ZX says it looks like brushed aluminium to me. I think it's made of galvanized kryptonite, and until I know otherwise, that's what I'm going with. Hey, who knows? This is like X-File type stuff, man. I'm expecting Mulder and Scully to walk into that picture any moment there. It was placed there recently, says Polly. And what else we got coming in? A Stargate from Bearded. Let's see what else is in there. Okay, so let's get to the story. Let's see what it says. It says here, a team of biologists have discovered a bizarre metal monolith in the wilderness in Utah, and I have no idea where it came from. Now, one of the biologists is the one who spotted it, and we just happened to fly directly over the top. This is from the pilot called Brett Hutchings, who flew a helicopter over the site, and he told local news station KLSTV or KSLTV. Now, that's the one we watched last night. You can see that news report over on the video that myself and Ben have done. It's uploaded on the other channel. It says he was like, whoa, 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 stop the bus, or stop the helicopter. Turn around, turn around, he added. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's this thing back there. We've got to go and look at it. So,
Captain's log, stardate 11/18/20.
Let's see if we can get that up bigger. There we go.
Captain's log, stardate 11/18/2020. The crew of the Utah DPS helicopter traveled to southern Utah on a mission to count bighorn life forms with wildlife officers.
And he's like, whoa, 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 turn around, turn around.
See, I told you, he said, whoa, 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 whoa.
There's this thing back there. We got to go look at it.
The crew had spotted an object of unknown origin.
I mean, look at this. This is like going in and discovering some alien artifact, isn't it? We'll all be talking about this a couple of weeks from now. I don't know.
On the red surface.
Okay, the intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form.
In the middle of the barren desert stood a mysterious metal monolith.
I would say it's probably between 10 and 12 feet high.
That is just wild.
We're kind of joking around it.
Listen, very wild. So we're going to go back and see what it says about this, all right? Because we've got more stories to look at it. Ben Emlyn-Jones has wrote about it as well today. We're going to take a little look at that. So if we scroll down, it says between 10 and 12 feet high, the shiny monolith stood out like a sore thumb in the otherwise natural landscape, and its location has been intentionally kept under wraps to keep crowds away. Are we going to storm the monolith, ladies and gents? Hashtag storm the monolith. The obvious reference, of course, is the 1968 movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, which involves a number of monoliths being placed in the solar system by extraterrestrials in prehistory. And so we were just kind of joking around that if one of us suddenly disappears, then the rest of us will make a run of it. And of course, if you're just joining us, we're talking about this bad boy here. Now, we're going to look at it from all angles. We're going to go up, down, around it. We're going to go from the speculation island and even further away out beyond the horizon of that. And we're going to look at the logical as well. You know, there's most likely or statistically more likely that this has got a very down-to-earth type explanation, as much as I would love it to be something from outer space. And maybe it is. But is it a piece of art? Is it to maybe commemorate a spot that was of importance to somebody on a personal level? Maybe they went there with somebody they loved at some point. They've got enough money, and maybe they lost their partner. Something happened. Maybe they just wanted to commemorate it. Maybe they had more money than sense. Maybe it means something to them. Maybe they put something there. And then we start to think about the more fantastical, like maybe aliens did put it there. Is it maybe a movie project that we're yet to find out about? Maybe it's one that was done in the past and nobody's really put two and two together yet. Maybe we'll take a little dig in a moment and we'll find that there's been an explanation. Possibly it's already been cleared up. We'll maybe be able to take this story to a conclusion today once we start to fire up the interweb bots and we send them out there and we get looking. And if you're over in Discord, maybe you've already found out. Maybe you've already got the story that we're looking for that's going to tell us exactly what these things are all about. I'm over in Discord right now. So if you want to drop it in there, put it in the general chat and I'll bring it up. But let's go back to Ben Emlyn-Jones this time. Now, like I say, Ben was on the show with me just the other night. just last night. There we go. We talked all about it, and then he even said to me, I so want to go away and write about this now. And he has. He has, by golly. So if I just take a little stab at this here, it's nice and short, nice and snappy. An extraordinary discovery has been made in the desert land of southern Utah, USA, and it came about from a very unlikely source. No ufologist or ancient mysteries enthusiast was involved. The Utah Department of Public Safety were flying a helicopter over the landscape, counting sheep. Were they going to sleep? I hope not. It wouldn't be good for the pilot to be going to sleep in mid-flight, right? When they noticed something so unusual that they broke off from their rather sleepy duties to land and take a closer look. The Men Who Counted Sheep. It sounds like the name of a good book, right? The object of curiosity was a metallic, polygonal solid embedded in the ground. It was 10 to 12 feet in height and roughly 2 feet along its other sides. The UDPS team were immediately reminded of the black monolith in Arthur C. Clarke's and Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. However, the 2001 monolith had a rectangular plan, where this one is triangular. So it goes on to say this is like a box of Toblerone chocolate bar. Now, Toblerone for me is chocolate for masochists. You can't eat a bit of Toblerone without hurting yourself. It's just a fact. But it's quite interesting how this is triangular. It's got that kind of that triangle shape to it. And those pesky blooming aliens, didn't stick to the script that Arthur C. Clarke and Stanley Kubrick had. And maybe instead of that rectangular one, they have left us this thing. It just gets the imagination going, doesn't it? So it says the helicopter crews are baffled as to what it is. And quite frankly, so am I. I discussed it in confused tones on the Kev Baker show last night. See, coming soon. And it's out. There it is, folks. It's already arrived, shall we say. And it says here, assuming this thing is man-made, whoever put it there went to a lot of trouble. The object would be bulky to carry it, and if it's a solid metal, extremely heavy, unless it's made of galvanized kryptonite. Maybe, potentially, and unobtainium. A little sprinkle of unobtainium through it as well, right? Digging a hole in the hard, dry ground and replacing it properly with the hole filled in to secure it would be a major challenge. One more person would have to be involved, and its location is very remote, somewhere in the rocky lands of southern Utah. This is why the sheep counters were using a helicopter instead of a car. Now, somebody on Reddit attributed it to artist John McCracken. What a great name, right? McCracken. However, this cannot be confirmed because, unfortunately, McCracken isn't with us anymore. Now, there is only speculative connection with McCracken because the structure resembles his style. And what's more, if the object was made by John McCracken, or indeed by any artist, why go to the effort of erecting it at a location where people cannot see it? As you can tell from the news report's images, the monolith is not only in the middle of an uninhabited desert, but it's placed at the bottom of a ravine. We can see that in this one here. It's like Bizarro Land. But we like Bizarro Land on here. It's where we operate, right? You think Bizarro Land is the valley before you come to Speculation Island? It's up for debate. So it says here, it's almost as if somebody wanted it to be in the open air, but indeed also to hide it. We don't know how long the monolith has been there, seeing as it is such a secluded spot. Now, it might have been there for a very long time, and it seems that the helicopter crews the crew were very lucky indeed to have been flying over just the right place to notice it. It does not appear to have deteriorated from the exposure to the elements, and I see no rust or rainwater corrosion, no sandblast erosion, and this could mean it has only been put there, or it could be something to do with the material it's made of. In India, there is a famous pillar which is supposedly made of iron, but does not rust. And if we open this up here, Ben talked about this last night, it's the Iron Pillar of Delhi. I reckon that was for speculation here, transmitting either a frequency or maybe transmitting, receiving electricity. Hey, I don't know. But if we come back here, it says, could the Utah anomaly be made of an unusual material like the strange objects that are implanted in people's bodies, shown in documentaries like Patient 17? Now, we're talking about alien-type implants here, folks. Dr. Irina Scott researched strange materials, and I'm keen to see if she can find out anything. Obviously, a team of experts will need to visit the location and analyse the composition of the object. It might turn out to be steel, aluminium, or aluminum, depending where you're from, or a conventional alloy, or galvanised kryptonite, with a little bit of unobtainium. I keep telling you, man. So, which would make it strange? A strange, concealed, man-made folly. On the other hand, it might be something else. Something not of this world. And so far, the UDPS is keeping the exact location secret. This is not because they're involved in any kind of cover-up. It's to prevent sightseers trying to visit the object and getting lost in the desert. This was one of the concerns about Storm Area 51 last year. So nevertheless, the location will probably be leaked before long. It might also be found on Google Earth, and if anybody is willing to pour over the entire region in high zoom, obviously I hope to point the monolith. I hope at some point the monolith is subjected to proper public study, and the solution is too weird, and the solution to its weird emergence can be found. There you go. Spit it out, Kev. Very, very interesting indeed. So, we're going to take another little look at this here, and then I am going to shove on some music, and I will get a little drink of coffee, and I'll see what you people out there have to say about it. Because in the end of the day, you know how we roll on here. I provide, and you decide. I'll be right back, folks. Okay, so while we're waiting for me to get a little drink of coffee and get sorted here, let's have a little snap poll like we do on KBS. Number one, if you think it's definitely man-made, definitely a earthly reason solution to this mystery. Number 2, if you're going full woo. 1 for down-to-earth, artist, human, something that we aren't aware of. Or number 2, you're going all out. You're sailing off for Speculation Island and it's pure woo. One for really logical reason, 2 for woo. There you go. We've got ZX, he's quantum. He's coming in on 1s and 2s. I like it, man. I like it. You're keeping that mind open. That's what I like to see. That's how we roll here. Number 2. There's a lot for pure woo. Jason's going for 1.5. Yes, indeed. Al goes on a 1. Dead's on a 1. I like it. I like it. It's a mixed bag of keeping it woo and logic been shown here. Sam's a 1 and 2. Yep. There we go. And there's Malaya in the chat room. Malaya will be on the show with us later tonight. Did I leave myself looking all small? There we go. We can get me a little bit bigger, I suppose, right? 2 Will Rules says, Jules. Polly says, yep, you can see rivets in the pic. Hey, even aliens might need to use some way of putting metal together. Yeah, definitely rivets going on there. I want to believe Mulder, says Leslie. Yep. How's it over here? It's awesome, man. It's awesome. We're getting into deep woo. I'll go deep woo. So then, let's take a look at some of the other stories that are doing the rounds about this woo. And I found one here. Let's look at this. Is it a prank? Mysterious object found in Utah during sheep count. This comes from 3 days ago. It's one of the earliest kind of reports on it, but there was the initial kind of Utah Highway Patrol. Even they're covering it. Did you know Utah DPSA Aero Bureau helps with counting bighorn sheep every year? During the count, they came across this sheet of metal buried in the middle of nowhere. What do you think it is? I think it's the start of hour upon hour of conversation. That's what I really think it is. Over here, again, more, not the kind of websites I would expect to be covering this. Live Science, who set up this mysterious metal monolith in the Utah desert. It's not aliens. Who embedded a large metal monolith in the simulation? I mean, the Utah desert. Telling you, man, my simulation theory it gets more and more likely every day. It's not my theory. I kind of stole that there. I didn't want to make it sound like it's literally me came up with that. But it says state wildlife officials are baffled, they're confused, they're perplexed, and they're scratching their heads after they discovered a 3-meter tall installation. That makes it sound far more interesting, doesn't it? In Red Rock Country in southeastern Utah. The shiny silver rectangle sits in the center of the dead end of one of many shallow rock ravines that scour this desert region. Its discovery had wildlife officials feeling as if they'd been dropped into an episode of Ancient Aliens. Okay, the intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form. But I tell you, we are living in interesting times, are we not? Are we not? So another one over here talking about it. Monolith discovered in Utah wilderness is strong 2001 energy. So of course it does make people think about 2001, A Space Odyssey. And for any of you younger pups out there, maybe you're not aware of this one. I'll get the chat room moved over a little bit. There we go. There you go, troops. Looking better already. So for those of you who don't know, 2001 A Space Odyssey is a 1968 epic science fiction film, and it is produced and directed by Stanley Kubrick. And this was where he mastered something called back screen projection. And he used it when he was having the scenes with all the monkeys around the monolith. You get me? So it was inspired by Arthur C. Clarke's 1951 short story, The Sentinel, and other short stories by Clarke. A novel released after the film's premiere was, in part, written concurrently with the screenplay. And the film, which follows a voyage to Jupiter with the sentient computer HAL, and Dave, after a discovery of an alien monolith affecting human evolution, deals with themes of existentialism, human evolution, artificial intelligence, and extraterrestrial life. Is that bloody thing here? Did this land on January the 1st, 2020? Is this what's sending things into, like, whoa, wackadoodle everyday land that we're in now? The clown world that's all around us. Is this to blame? Because if it is, then I tell you, this woo just took on a far more serious type of tone. But no, I don't think it is to blame. I don't want, not yet. May I reserve judgment on that one. So the film is noted for its scientifically accurate depiction of spaceflight, pioneering special effects, and ambiguous imagery. Kubrick avoided conventional cinematic blah blah blah. See if it says anything about the monolith. Yeah, well, after discovering alien monolith, that's the only time it mentions it, surely not. Let's see. So we've got Floyd and others ride in a moon bus to the artifact, a monolith identical to the one encountered by the ape men. And as they examine the monolith, it's struck by sunlight, upon which it emits a high-powered radio signal. Go and get sunlight onto that bad boy. Look, we can see the shadow being cast there by the sun. There's probably people already triangulated it and recognised a rock in here by now. That might sound a bit out there, but remember when Shia LaBeouf was like hiding and the whole like 4chan or 8chan, they tracked him down because like they managed to work out planes crossing and the stars in the sky. When people want to find you, they'll find you. So I imagine there'll be internet sleuths right now poring over Google imagery looking for this. But if we go back here, where's next one's down? So it says Hal tries to reassure whatever, then pleads with him to stop and then expresses fear for himself. When the disconnection is complete, a pre-recorded video message plays revealing the mission's objective is to investigate the radio signal sent from the monolith to Jupiter. At Jupiter, Bowman finds a third, much larger monolith orbiting the planet, and he leaves Discovery in an EVA pod to investigate. But it's pulled into a vortex of coloured light, Stargate. Bowman is carried across a vast distance of space and time because the two are inseparable. Remember that old guy? Funny hair, Einstein, he told us that, right? It's space-time. It just is. I'm being pedantic. Go with me. While viewing bizarre cosmological phenomena and strange landscapes of unusual colours, eventually he finds himself in a large neoclassical bedroom where he sees and then becomes older versions of himself. First standing in the bedroom, middle-aged and still in his spacesuit, then dressed in a leisure attire and eating dinner, and finally as an old man lying on a bed. A monolith appears at the foot of the bed, and as Bowman reaches for it, he is transformed into a fetus enclosed in a transparent orb of light which floats in space beside the Earth. What is it about Monolith, and what is it about this, Monolith. You know, I'm probably, if like my life depended on it and somebody said, right, you have to decide now. Is it woo or like number one, more logical? I probably would have to side on more logical. But leave me to have my moment of speculation. But let us make the most of the time we have left before somebody debunks this. And what if it is? Just what if it was some kind of alien artifact? What if an AI put it there? How could an AI put it there? I don't know, but it'll work for today's stream. It's only a thought. And don't forget as well, coming up, wait till I find this here. I've changed everything in the command center. Everything's been changed around. And it's a bit of a nightmare because, like, I can't find things and it's all going crazy. But here, tonight's show, that's going to be crazy as well because we've got one of our own on. Malaya is going to be on the show, and we've even got 2 thumbnails. That's how cool tonight's show is going to be. Not 1, but 2 thumbnails. And there's the other one there. Because we're going to talk about deep woo, but we're also going to talk about some real deep stuff. Some real deep conversations about the soul. So listen, I'm going to give you one last chance. Give me your most fantastical sci-fi reasons. And what's this metallic monolith all about? Remember, chances are within 24 hours, somebody's going to come forward and they're going to kill our woo. So here's your last chance to speculate wildly. Have at it, folks. Come on. Yes, new little bit of video After Effects going on there. You like it? I do, yep. Yeah. Absolutely, Joe. Speculation Island. It's where your thoughts are your own and your drinks are for free. Yep. You get your drinks for free there. Absolutely. It's an experimental fridge. It could well be the prototype of some new futuristic smart fridge. It could be, Greg. I like it. It could be a giant cigarette lighter. Or a giant's cigarette lighter. Just to differentiate. I like it, man. I like it. Let's pull the picture back up. That could very well be. I think Greg might be on it. Probably run out of gas, right? It's had to throw it away. Something like that's happened. That's what I think. Probably, Jason. It's probably something to do with them. Maybe it's signed on the bottom. Maybe there's a hammer and sickle just below the sand line there. Or copies. Or copies, Leslie. Yeah, exactly. Pretty damn interesting woo, though, I must admit. One of the, yeah, Polly, exactly. This chat's amazing. It's awesome. You always get a laugh. We get a bit of fun here. That's why when I was saying at the start of the show, yep, uploaded a video to the bigger KBS channel. And that's what we'll do there. We'll upload the odd clip from the shows. We'll do the odd pre-produced. You know, I'll put something together off air. But over here is where it all goes down live. This is where we keep it real. And this is where the hardcore KBS savages come. This is where you come to get your fix, right? And to just probably catalogue my descent into utter insanity. Let's get our view counter up there. 80. We're slowly growing. We are. So exactly. See, this is what I'm looking for, Jason. If we start to hear about another one somewhere else, oh boy, hold on tight. Hold on tight. I tell you, things are going to get really, really real really fast. Yeah. With experimental woo, possibly candy, or even better, alien PPP. These aliens better bring their own. That's all I can say. They better bring their own. And their lighter better work. And if that's the size of their lighter, I don't want to see something that has a lighter that size. No. Looks like a part of Osiris to Mr. Dick Richards in the chat room. Brilliant. Brilliant. Can I just we don't have a competition for best name in the chat room, but Mr. Richards, you sir, have definitely won it today. Felicia, a Leica, a resonator of some sort. I'm telling you, on the morning of the winter solstice. You know, look at this. Let's look at that crack behind it, right? That almost looks like some power source has cut that open, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I know it hasn't. But what if it just kind of... I don't know if it makes that noise exactly. But on the morning of I'll say the summer solstice, the sun comes up and it does something. It does something, man. Yeah. Someone please make a cardboard one and post it up somewhere. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Just like, we could just take that out of there. Like, we just cut it out and we just put it into random pictures that appear on the news and things like that. Just photobomb it. We'll do the Monolith photobomb. We'll put it wherever we bloody like, Algo. That's what we'll do, man. We'll put them here, there, and everywhere. Yep. Algo says he knows it makes that noise. I bet it does. I don't know if that was even the noise I made before, but it's getting there. Something like that, right? Might even sound like a didgeridoo. Can you imagine if it sounds like a didgeridoo when the wind hits off it? Holy shamoly, man. Mr. Richards, he's offering up autographs after the show. Yes, $45, pretty cheap, dude. Yeah, it's a lipstick topper for the big man. Oh, indeedy. I tell you, I have no idea. Maybe it's just gonna like elevator doors. It's just gonna like open up. It's gonna grow and open up, and through it will be the other dimensions. Oh, telling you. Maybe this is what it looks like when you've got another world in the many world kind of theories, right? Maybe they've got a big machine like CERN. And maybe this is what happens when you start ripping holes to other dimensions. Maybe just big metal blockers appear. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe you take that out the ground, everything's going to fall apart. It could be a nano ant colony. Exactly. We didn't turn to grey goo when they go to sleep. Maybe it's hibernating, Jason, right? It could be an elaborate joke like the Georgia Guidestones, but nobody's ever going to be able to get to see it. By the sounds that you ain't walking there. Like Ben said last night, made a good point. It's like, you know, there's no roads and things. They're having to fly to get there, like he wrote in his article as well. So I'd expect if it was something like that, for me, you'd get more bang for your buck if you put it somewhere where people can get to. But then if you have it somewhere where you can keep it out of the way of everyone, then potentially you can start telling people it's doing absolutely anything, right? I thought we were getting an interesting update there, but nothing interesting. So listen, folks, listen. I'm going to put the music on one last time. I'll come back, we'll have a little word with you, and then we'll get ready for the show with Malaya. And that'll be over on tfrlive.com. And it will be over in the Discord as well, as we do. So what do you think? Final thoughts on this crazy looking monolith? Yes, it definitely gets the mind thinking of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Are we being programmed? Are we about to have our own Independence Day? Think of any movie you want where, I'm going there, the alien invasion or the potential for one becomes a thing. Oh, I went there. The last card will be a big, giant, shiny monolith out in the desert. There you go. There we go. And yes, indeed, Algo, the Monolith has definitely got imaginations around the world fired up. And hey, I tell you what, it's a good way to escape the crazy for a little while. I'm telling you. So far, it hasn't been politicized. Give it a day or two, maybe it'll be politicized, who knows? Maybe it'll be a futuristic voting machine or some jazz like that. I don't know. But listen, hey, that's what we do around here. We escape the crazy. We take a look at the woo, we get into the mysteries, and I love doing it with all of you out there. It's awesome. So I'm going to pull up the chat room. I tell you what, it's definitely got my imagination going. And I would imagine, you know, with everything going on in the world, people probably really are looking at a story like this and escaping for a little while. I would imagine there's a lot of that to the virility that this article, this story is showing right now. So then, Malaya's not wanting to spoil anything. She's probably got the answer for it. We'll see. The Monolith sure sparked the imagine. I had that one. Why would a modern artist would put it where nobody can see it? Exactly, dude. Exactly what Ben said last night. ZX. Because humans are nosy. And this is perfect outcome for an artist. Well, you could. It could be like one of these like crazy backwards subjective nouveau art type things where we all go, what are we on to now? Are we on like postmodern? Are we like pre-apocalyptic art? Is that the genre we're going through right now? I don't know. It's a weird one. I could listen. Like I say, if I had to if somebody was threatening my life, why they would be threatening my life over decide one way or another on the Monolith, I don't know, but it's it's like a fictional world I live in, right? So you got to accept that. And yeah, I'm going for more terra firma. Unfortunately, I think an artist will be behind it. I want it to be something alien. Of course I do. You know, I love the X-Files. I love all that stuff. I'm excited about the space age we're moving into or getting dragged into, whatever way you look at it. But think about it. And it does no harm just for 10 minutes or so. Run a little sci-fi movie in your own head. We can create absolutely anything in there. Our imaginations are amazing. That's what leads to us seeing so many patterns in the world. Be it pictures we look at, be it stories we cover. And those patterns are sometimes real and sometimes they're not. And that's the power of our mind. It can fill in gaps that sometimes aren't even there. So I don't know, I just like to take a story like this, open the mind, but not to the point where, how does it go again? Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. There we go, folks, there we go. I'm going to now head on over, I'm going to get ready for the main show with Malaya. And thank you all for joining me today. Remember to subscribe if you're only checking this out. Remember to hit the join button down below if you want to become a member, and you'll get into the Sundays VIP lounge. I'll be back in 30 odd minutes, 29 minutes to be exact. tfrlive.com disco, or for anyone that's over there as well. Remember, keep it real out there, right?